robbed of her chance of Olympic gold by a crippling knee injury. Fast forward a few days, and there she was again, smiling, confident, back on the track, back on track, ready to take on the world in the 400 metres hurdles in Athens. That's the dream, but in reality, if Jana does triumph, it will be one of the greatest sporting comebacks ever. And as Mike Munro reports from Italy, at her first training run overnight, it really was a case of run, Jana, run.
The tear is actually on this side, but they went in...
This is the most famous knee in Australian sport. But at the start of the Olympic Games, Jana Pittman wishes it didn't belong to her.
I just can't believe how black and blue it is.
It looks angry, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that blood under the skin?
Yeah, it's just basically blood and bruising. It's because we're pushing it too. Like we're putting the workload into it. A friend of ours had his done as well 2.5 weeks ago, and he started walking today. And I'm 5 days and I'm trying to run. It's quite funny if you think of it like that.
Straight lines, visualise.
It's just as well Jana's a hurdler, because no athlete has ever attempted to clear the massive barriers now lying ahead of her. Her Olympic dream will rise or fall on whether she can rehabilitate her injured right knee before she's due to race in 6 days' time.
You've got two things, as how the physios say it. You've got reality and you've got a miracle. We're hoping to get close to a miracle, because the reality of it is it's an injury that takes 6 weeks to recover. Most people aren't running after... Most people can't even walk or run after a week. And I'm trying to run 400 hurdles at the Olympic Games. It's like...
And win it, and win it.
And win it.
Away, fair start by Jana.
It was September last year when Jana became the latest in a long and proud line of Australian golden girls.
Here comes Jana Pittman on the inside.
At 20, the youngest ever 400-metre hurdles world champion.
What a performance! What a victory!
With the confidence such an emphatic victory brings, she told Charles Woolley that Olympic gold was her destiny.
She's a world champion.
I'm very certain. I mean, I want to win that gold more than anything in the world.
More than anything?
More than anything in the world.
That is a huge thing to say, isn't it?
You only live once. Got to have a shot. But, you know, every girl in that final will be wanting the same thing. Every girl. There's going to be 8 girls in that final, and every one of them's going to be standing on their blocks going, I can win this race. It's just who wants it the most. And hopefully that'll be me. No, I know that will be me.
Are you still that sure?
I've got to get there first. But once I'm there...
One step at a time, huh?
One step at a time.
If Jana does make it back onto the track in Athens, she'll be setting a new record for recovery.
Okay, Jana, I want you to go alternate legs now. Hop, 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 hop. Little hops here, straight leg.
This weekend, we joined her here on the Italian-Swiss border for her last make-or-break days.
Go.
And so far, the signs are good.
Nothing hurts at all, which is good. The water's takes a lot of the impact out and a lot of the weight of your body, and it sort of creates a bit of a resistance as well, though, so it's good. You can do so much work in the pool, rehab-wise and training-wise.
I couldn't help but notice your fingernails. Who did those for you?
I did them, actually. I've been doing them every year. I want to have Australian flags on all my fingers when I race, so every year I've done it.
You're a hopeless patriot, aren't you?
I just love it. I have Aussie flags and everything. Love the green and gold.
Jana's someone who really responds well when her back is against the wall, and her back has never been more against the wall than what it is right now.
Alrighty, let's do it.
And Jana's coach, Phil King, knows all about challenge and success. He coached his wife, Debbie Flintoff King, to win the 400-metre hurdles at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. And he thinks Jana can do the same.
I take the attitude she has a 100% chance of making the final, and that's really a coach's responsibility. And Jana and I share that sort of dream that, you know, this is just another small hiccup that we have to try and overcome and address.
And of winning the final?
If she's in the final, she's a red-hot chance to win it.
What a comeback that will be.
Houdini had it easy, Mike. If we pull this off, it'll just be an incredible feat. But we do have a long way to go.
It was 9 days ago when things went drastically wrong. Warming up for her final race before the Olympics, Jana heard a loud pop in her right knee.
The exercise I was doing, you don't understand, it's something I do every day of the week. It's just a normal exercise, and I was warming up like it was just my night. I was so prepared for it. I'd had the best day, I'd meditated, I'd painted my nails ready because Debbie Flintoff-King was in the crowd and I was hoping to break her record in the race, and it was just going awesome. And then just doing this drill, it was the last drill before I went to the call room basically, and it was just heard this big noise, and that was it.
Jana was simply going over the hurdle with her left leg, her right leg's coming over here like this, and that position there with no loading at all on this leg, her knee went, and it was like hearing a firecracker go. And we all thought that she'd hit the hurdle, but it was just a knee popping, and she tore the lateral meniscus. And it's something that she has done every single warm-up, every single day she's trained with me. Part and parcel of a normal process, just like a kid cleaning their teeth.
Can you just explain to us what a lateral meniscus is?
Basically, it's a cushioning in your knee for your femur, your thigh bone, and your tibia, and it stops it rotating and stops all the movement, is what I've been told. And when it's unstable, it means basically you've got no, you could just collapse when you're walking and things like that.
A shock absorber.
Exactly, shock absorber.
As Jana can only do, she first put on a brave face.
Basically, I was just doing some hurdle drills, and I landed funny off one of the hurdles, and my knee just sort of made a funny noise, and I don't think there's anything going to be, too worried about it.
But Phil King consulted Dr. Verdal, one of the world's leading sports doctors. He gave her virtually no chance to compete in Athens.
I've never seen that in my experience, that you can come back in 15 days with such a lesion now.
I said, Jana, put your arms around my neck and give me a tight cuddle, but your trip is over, mate.
You said it's over?
It's over, yes.
And we can see now you still get emotional about it.
Very much so, yes.
Initially, I didn't even cry. I was almost, not screaming, but I was like, I just couldn't breathe, and I felt sick. Phil threw up. Like, it was just like, it's like something has been ripped out of you and you have no control over it.
So how low did you go?
I reckon I went the lowest I've ever been in my life, ever. At one stage there, I didn't have any idea what my purpose was, because I just thought this was my purpose, to show Australia that little dreams are possible. And I'm always, singing the Bumblebee song that, the impossible is possible, and that if you work hard enough, you can achieve anything. And all of a sudden, everything was taken away.
Just not fair, right?
That's what we didn't understand.
In sheer desperation, they sought a second opinion from London specialist Dr. Haddad. In his view, all wasn't lost. Arthroscopic surgery trimmed 3 millimetres of flapping cartilage. Despair turned to joy.
It worked.
So Jana's chances to compete soared from 1% to 60%.
I'm going, Phil. Come on, mid-rip, Phil.
60% or so, we're going to try very hard. We'll know much more how she responds in terms of swelling and inflammation, but certainly I'm much more optimistic than I was this morning.
Jana left the hospital in triumph, making the point she was far from finished. Was throwing those crutches away a psychological message to your competitors that, hey, Jana Pittman is back?
I think it was, to be honest. Yeah, it was for me as well.
Did you plan it?
I did plan. As I was walking, I had to walk with him. I'm like, no, I don't need these. I'm not holding on to you any longer. Go away. I'm rid of you. It's not part of me.
So you virtually have to start from scratch, don't you? As far as moving that right leg again, you sort of have to start walking again almost.
Spot on. You almost have to because they've removed they removed 15% of my meniscus. It's like putting an orthotic in your shoe. It feels funny for the first few times. It's like a new knee for me. So
it's an incredible ask.
Oh, I know. I'm prepared for it.
Jana's mind is willing, but her body, and more specifically that right knee, may yet prove too weak. To win an Olympic medal, she must race 3 times and clear 30 hurdles. And in the back of her mind is the nagging fear that if she can injure herself in a warm-up, what could happen in a race?
If I can get through the rounds, I actually have 3 days between the semi-final and the final, which is a long time to recover, but it's getting through the heat and the semi, which are a day apart. And running, 4 hurdles is a hard race. It's probably the hardest on the body because your impact is 8 times your body weight going through the ground every time you go over a hurdle. Coming out of simple things like coming out of blocks, boom. How's my knee going to cope with that? Is the sort of thing that I have to start worrying about. And
why not not risk your knee and wait for Beijing?
There is a few reasons behind it. The first one being that we've worked so hard for 4 years, and as long as it's not going to do any damage, I don't see there any reason why we should back out of this challenge. The second reason, with everything we've been thrown at, imagine if I can pull this off. Like, it'll just be something that'll change my life.
There's still Beijing. Are you concerned that if she keeps running, she could do some long-term damage?
Very much so. Jana's been explained the risks, and the risks are possible that she could be running around the track in Athens and she could collapse halfway around the track.
You've had a tremendous amount of support from Australia, haven't you?
Yeah, certainly have. They've been awesome. Just everybody behind me. I think the positive vibes have definitely helped. I believe in that. So
4,000 herograms, is that right?
Lots of them. The computers crashed, so I don't really know how many there is altogether.
But there's one herogram that means more than any other to Jana Pittman.
Jana Pittman with the family.
Her mum, Jackie, has been with her from the Little Leagues to World Championships.
Hello, darling. I'm just sorry I can't be there for you. All I want to do is hug you and hold you and, you know, take your pain away. I know that you're really hurting right now, but hang in there, kiddo. We're really behind you, and we're praying for you really hard because you know God can make miracles, and we love you, and with everyone behind you, you will be on that track in Athens, and we will see you there. Love, kisses, hugs, and hugs from Dad and me. Bye, lovey.
Yeah. It's a miracle. I'm really very pleased.
Overnight, just 6 days after her knee operation and 6 days before she's due to compete, Jana ran for the first time. No one thought she'd ever get this far. The prospects of our golden girl may have dimmed, but if the Olympic Games are all about triumph of the human spirit, Jana is shining brighter than ever.
I will go to the final. If I'm not in the final, I will watch my friends run because they are my friends. Quite a few. I've already picked who, if it's not me, who it's going to be, who I want it to be. Well,
I won't even ask you who you think it'll be because we all think it's going to be you anyway.
I hope so. I do hope so, obviously. But it is a long shot. It is a real long shot. But hey, I had 1% chance. Now it's up to 60.
Yeah.
Who's going to tell me the night before the Olympics final if I'm not in the final in lanes 1 or 8? I don't care that I'm not going to have a chance.
Only a very brave person.
Exactly. You know. So.